Lesley's lessons. So today I want to talk about letting you know that is not your problem. People who have been in your past and you have moved on emotionally, physically, financially, spiritually, you have moved on in every way and they still seem to pop back up. There's something about them. You know, I tend to kind of stay in a gray area with my own past because it's in my past. Um, Even though I know that is something that is no longer a part of my life, that person, those type of situations are no longer part of my life. It still had a great impact in the person that I am today. And a little bit of a backstory, It was a really dark time. It was so dark that I thought the next relationship just had to be marriage because what was witnessed spiritually, there's no way God's gonna just, let me just have someone regular after that. He's gonna say you need a break. And that's not what happened. You're not entitled to life just working out because you had a terrible, horrible experience. And if we look deeper, we can say that situation brought certain gems to your life. You take away what was good because there is something good that does happen even in the darkest of times. There's something good in you that happens. The other day at my regular gig, minding my business, it's been years, 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 years. I hear someone to my right and the voice sound familiar, and I looked over and it was that person. I knew I blocked him years ago, and here you are at my job talking to my coworker as if you don't see me. And in that moment, it just felt like something dropped inside of me. I was stuck. Instantly, I'm thinking of survival mode. What do I do? What do I say? How do I spin this? And then I had to get a hold of myself. So while he's talking to my coworker, I just kind of walk away, hide behind the vodkas and everything behind the bar. And I hear my coworker say, come back anytime, my friend, I'll take care of you. What's your name? And it was like slow motion, like a movie. And he was like, what? And asked again and said his name. And I just was like, doom, on the inside. It was him. I didn't think about this man. I was careful not to bring him up in conversations or energy, but he still popped up in my life. Just like that. It took me back to a time. It took me back to a time, when you go through emotionally abusive situations, physical, what have you. You are in survival mode. But there comes a time when you have to say, I have to get into thrival mode. I have to be able to thrive. I have to be able to celebrate, to smile, to have the best day. And it can't be something that is dependent on someone else making that happen for me. And that's what I've done for myself. That's what gets me up in the morning, gets me smiling, hearing the feedback that, look at the sunshine person and this and that, when they have no idea of my background. And I was just thinking, what do we say, and then I just took a breath. And I calmed myself because then he doubled down, left, and came back. And I just kept my back turned. I stayed at my station. I could hear his voice behind me, just some feet away. And my coworker, I wasn't going to get him involved like that. And I didn't feel safe to do that with him. It's a lot of responsibility to keep something like that to yourself. And I just meditated and just focused on what I was doing, and he left. And I said to myself, while he was there, and I could hear him talk in the background loud enough so I can hear and know he was there, this is not my problem. Clear as day, I heard this voice. This is not my problem. This is not the definition of me. He can say whatever he wants. I am free of you. I am free of my past. I am free. I mean, what are you really going to say about me anyway? What will you admit? Probably nothing. And even if you decorate the story as something that spins in your favor, this has nothing to do with me. And that is what I want for someone listening. This has nothing to do with you. If someone decides that they have not moved on and you have done everything to move on with your life, that is on them. The obsessive thoughts, the unwillingness to let go, the playback the memories, the one that got away and you don't want them to move on, or you just want to check up on them. It's almost like a timer. When people know that you're happy, like, this person should be happy by now, engaged, or something's going on. Let me just step into their life with my muddy shoes and my misery energy and just see if I could stir something up in her mind the way I was able to do that before. And he got nothing from me. That was a victory for me. And it can be a victory for you or someone that you know. I didn't call anyone. I just shared it with one coworker that I trusted just in case this guy decides to pull back up again because he said he works right next door. So that's another thing. And I just said, this is not for me to worry about. I don't have to speak to you. I don't have to acknowledge you. I don't have to tell other people a story, a part of my life, of a chapter that has closed a long time ago. And even if the chapter has closed with you and someone 6 months ago, and you are strong on that, that is it. That's it. And lately, I have used every tool that I've come up with that has helped me to stay on track as I find myself entering a new realm of life. I designed these new journals. I call it the Awaken Collection on Amazon. And one's called Release. The other one is a to-do planner. The other one is about budgeting and setting up your business right journal, and just everything is a strategic part of you living an intentional life. That's what I want for you, to be intentional with your time, be intentional with your joy. There is no rule that says that your distractions should have power over you. They should take up your time, your space, your smile, your joy, your health. They will always be there. But what will you decide to do with them? Are you going to give it importance? Are you going to ace the test? Because that definitely was a test. I never thought I was going to see that person ever again, unless they invited me to a funeral. And I still would say no. That is how dark, and that is how that person treated me. I just choose respectfully to just leave, to leave things as is. It doesn't mean I hate the person. I definitely felt like I did at one point, but then I said, this is not me. I don't even like to be mad. But I was angry. I was angry at the time that I allowed this relationship to take in my life for far too long. One thing that I've learned is if you are not careful with the people that you select in your life and not cut them off when you see it's flaming red flags, it's something that you will have to deal with. This insufferable, toxic energy, as much as it needs time to leave your system. You have to remember how easy it was to just ooze in at one time, because at one time you cared about this person. You liked this person. Even when they were showing some red flags, you still went ahead anyway. But that is neither here nor there. It's about how long do we stay? Are we staying because we want to prove something to ourselves? Are we staying because we feel that there's nothing better? Are we staying because we don't want to be alone? And if you can't convince yourself of a good reason to stay, you have every amount of motivation why you must leave. The person, just like that person, and I don't even call an ex, just someone from the past, will never let you go without your permission. They need you. Even if it's to use you, they need you for something. They do not want you to move on with your life. They just don't. You are of use to them in some way, whether it's you being consistent, you could even be inspiring. Their darkness needs your light. And until you decide to block out the darkness, they will always feel that they are entitled to have a piece of your life. Even if that person decides to pop up on you, like that person did to me, you do not have to engage. You do not have to respond. I was just so happy that I no longer had those feelings. I no longer had any angst about this person, any care about this person. You wouldn't even think that I knew them because I was done. If you are in a place where you still feel stuck, there might be a time where you have to see that person to see if you have moved on. There will be a time when their memories pop up or they try to pop up to make you think about what you once had. But it's up to you to say enough is enough to those memory lanes. That is how they get you, keeping the circle going. This is a new day, and this is a new era. And if you want to shine bright in your life, it is time to block out the darkness. This is your time. Life will show you when you are ready to move to the next level. And sometimes that will include someone popping up from your past, whether it was romantic or platonic or business. Someone will pop up from your past when you are ready to elevate. So when this happens, stay calm and stay collected, and don't allow yourself to be the person that's in charge of reacting. Give it no energy. Just let it flow and pass on. That is the test that you must pass. If you engage, that means you are not quite ready to elevate. Be prepared, be spiritually prepared, and stand strong and rest in your confidence to know that all is well. I hope whoever is at this place and feeling like this person can hurt you, just know that your demeanor and your actions and your thoughts of showing that you are pressing forward in your life does more to them than you can ever imagine. When you see someone pop up from your past, just know that is your clue that new doors are definitely about to open. This is your time. Stay strong and stay calm. You got this. Lesley's Lessons.